Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. If you always watch our channel, you may know that the US ban on Huawei 5G. Huawei is a global communication equipment giant, surpassing many established giants such as Ericsson, Nokia, and Cisco by itself. In the global communication equipment market share, Huawei is far ahead with a market share of 29% in the first half of this year, which shows that Huawei equipment is very popular. The intuitive performance is that in some states in the United States, local organizations still choose to purchase Huawei equipment. What does it mean for local governments in the United States to purchase Huawei equipment in disregard of that ban? Why do Huawei devices continue to sell well? US local governments continue to purchase Huawei equipment. In the previous Internet era, Western countries have always been dominant, and they have tasted the dividends brought by the Internet era. Just like the United States dominated the 4G network, many world-class giants were born on the Internet, and Amazon, Microsoft, Google, etc. other leaders in their respective Internet fields. But when it comes to 5G, the US's technological advantages are not obvious, and a lot of homework has been left behind. Huawei, which continues to cultivate, shines in the 5G field and holds the world's most 5G standard essential patents. At the beginning, many countries were willing to cooperate with Huawei, continuing the communication network construction of the previous network era and deploying Huawei equipment in the core network. The United States is well aware of how important it is to master a network era, so the United States has adopted a series of measures to hinder its allies from cooperating with Huawei. It is not allowed to purchase Huawei equipment in the US market. In addition, it has to provide large subsidies to allow operators to dismantle Huawei equipment. It is said that it is for network security, but it is actually just an excuse to maintain the dominance of the Internet. However, the backwardness of 5G technology in the United States cannot rise by hindering the development of its opponents. What's more, the subsidies provided by the United States for dismantling equipment cannot meet the needs of operators at all, and the dismantling of equipment has been delayed again and again. Operators and local agencies are very aware of the losses that will be faced by dismantling equipment. It is meaningless to replace old equipment that has no problems with new equipment, except for replacing the old with the new. What made the United States even more unexpected was that the United States still chose to buy Huawei equipment despite that ban. According to news from the US media, 1,681 state and local agencies in the United States have been purchasing equipment from Chinese companies such as Huawei from 2015 to 2021, with a total value of $45 million. During 2021, more than 600 transactions were purchased, and the products purchased included network equipment, surveillance cameras, and more. The United States' special attention to Huawei did not start suddenly. As early as 5G entered the commercial period, the United States began to plan how to stabilize its own 5G development and how to slow down its leading opponents. Prohibiting the purchase of equipment is one of the measures, but the result is obvious. States and local agencies in the United States cannot stop purchasing Huawei equipment, which shows that Huawei equipment is still the main choice. At the same time, it also shows that the US ban does not have much enforcement power among some independent states. In fact, the result was doomed from the very beginning. The United States tried to get operators across the United States to dismantle Huawei equipment. It can be understood after thinking about it. The laws and regulations of each state in the United States are different. The thankless thing of dismantling equipment will only affect operations. How many operators will be willing to do it if they normally promote the construction of 5G networks? Why are Huawei devices selling well? Huawei holds a large number of communication technology patents. In terms of the strength of the communication market, the combined communication equipment market share of Ericsson and Nokia cannot surpass Huawei. According to data released by Dell'Oro Group, in the first half of this year, Huawei led the global communications equipment market with a 29% market share, followed by Nokia in second and Ericsson in third. Huawei's outstanding performance is due to China's rapidly growing 5G network market and the growing demand for optical transmission, Reuters, and RAN, giving Huawei more opportunities in this part of the market. Therefore, Huawei equipment is not only purchased in the US market, but also maintains strong sales capabilities globally. So why are Huawei devices selling so well? First of all, it is very cost-effective. If operators want to build 5G networks and infrastructure on a large scale, they will inevitably invest a lot of money. It costs billions or tens of billions. If you can get a more cost-effective quotation from the equipment supplier, you can save a lot of money. The cost performance of Huawei equipment has always been very high, much cheaper than the same type of equipment from Ericsson and Nokia. Therefore, for US states and local agencies with limited budgets, Huawei equipment is the first choice. Second, the quality of Huawei equipment is excellent. It is said that you get what you pay for, but sometimes the more expensive things are not necessarily the best. In addition to Huawei's high cost performance, the quality of equipment is also very good. We must know that Huawei's annual R&D investment is at the level of 100 billion. In the past 10 years, Huawei's R&D investment has reached 845 billion yuan. In the first 3 quarters of this year, Huawei's R&D investment has exceeded 110.5 billion yuan, which is 8.2 billion yuan higher than the same period last year. Even though Huawei is in a complex market environment, it has not reduced its R&D investment, or even increased it instead of falling. So much money invested in research and development is guaranteed for the creation of product quality. Huawei's efforts will not be in vain, and the recognition of the market is the best reward. States and local institutions in the United States choose to purchase Huawei equipment, and it seems that there are still sensible people. Huawei has always established itself in the market with an open and transparent business image, and is willing to sign no backdoor agreements with various countries, and even accept anatomy-level inspections to prove the reliability of equipment technology. Looking back at the United States, there has been no substantive evidence to prove the argument. This self-justified farce should have ended long ago. What do you think about this? Welcome to leave a message below to share. Thank you for your watching.